Welcome to another edition of Leading Edge Interviews. I am your host, Supa Dave, and this is where we get to dig a little deeper into the minds of the top artists in the world of progressive rock. So when you step into a key role of an established band, it's never easy. When you're doing that for a member who has been lost tragically way too soon, there is an added layer of complexity. So that was the challenge facing Alberto Bravin when he became the new vocalist for preeminent progressive rock band Big Train. So far, all evidence is that the band handled this with empathy and thoughtfulness towards both Alberto and the fans as well. And it seems they've chosen wisely, as you're about to hear. So, without further ado, this is my conversation with Alberto Bravin of Big Train. So, again, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. It's really a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
A lot of things going on, and I can imagine that as we sit here about a month away exactly from the debut of the first Big Train album featuring you as the new singer, and you're talking about one of the biggest prog bands around. Simple question: how are you feeling? I imagine there's a little bit of nervous anticipation that goes with that.
Well, actually, I'm feeling good about it. It's yes, there is anticipation. There is a little bit nervous from like how people will react with this album, but actually, it was so fun and natural to do it, to make the album and record it, and be in the studio with the other guys, and everything went really well, and the mixing and everything was really good. So it was an amazing experience, and that it's what is really important for me, and I'm really proud of what we did. So yeah.
I feeling. I've been listening to it. It turned out really well. It's a very fine album.
Oh, thank you.
It's got some great stuff in it. How familiar were you with Big Train before auditioning for them?
Well, actually, I was a fan. I knew the band as a progressive rock and metal fan. I was aware of the band. I was aware of what happened, but I didn't know anybody in the band. I never been in contact with them, and it was really surprised when Greg just sent me an email just asking me if I wanted to audition for the lead vocalist role. I had no idea. Turn out that he actually asked me if I was aware of the band, if I knew the band. I say, yeah, well, yes, I know the band. And it was a lucky situation. Because Greg was at a PFM gig in 2015, completely random. He just went to see PFM, and I was there. I was singing and playing there.
Yeah.
And he just wrote down my name. He didn't know my name, actually. I think he wrote down just like PFN singer or guy or whatever, because he didn't know. So because he was thinking about maybe like a solo project or something at the time, and that never happened.
Yeah.
He never contacted me, and we never spoke. And so when the tragedy happened, and they and the band decided to carry on and keep going with the band, I was one of the guys that they contact, and here I am.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine getting that call. Wait, who's this? Is this Frank?
It is. Why?
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's impressive. Clearly you made an impact the day he watched you with PFM.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. It was. It actually was. It was the first year for me in PFM. So it was like a new thing that I was pretty. I mean, we played really good. So we were just going for an American tour. So we played London, and then we went to, if I remember correctly, was United States, and then South America, and the cruise to the edge. So I mean, it was like amazing. Everybody was so happy about it, and so we played really well, and it was like a really fun gig. I remember the gig, so it was fun. And,
yeah. I mean, as things go, I mean, anytime somebody joins an established band in filling the role of a departed key figure, like I know there's got to be some pressure with that. And given the specific circumstances with David Longdon, I imagine there's these other added mixed emotions that go along with that. I wonder what that was like for you to do that.
Well, I mean, it was psychologically was hard. I mean, because of course there is a big question mark about what's gonna happen. Like I'll go out and I'm singing like David's songs.
Yeah.
So I mean, what? I don't know, and anybody knew. I mean, I didn't know, the band didn't know, and management didn't know, and also the audience didn't know. So we were like together in a big question mark. And so the first tour that we did, it was hard because we didn't know. So I remember vividly that I like the first gig. We played the first song, and it was like the warm-up show, so it was like 300 hardcore fans there. So so that was no pressure at all.
No.
So that was and actually after the first song, everybody was standing and clapping and smiling or crying or whatever feelings they had. And I remember I turned back to Greg and I said, I think we got it. I think we can do it. And so, and actually, also like before the first gig, I am nobody. I was nobody there. I was just the Italian guy that was called, like,
right.
asked for do this. And I mean, but the audience and the fans of the band, everybody was so welcoming and so warm, and like the management and the band really took care of the. They really did the right choices, like how to present this thing and how to carefully saying to the people, to everybody, like, all right, this is the new singer, blah blah blah, and then we did like there was like a new song, and there was like Last 11, the demo of Last 11, and then we did the small tour, and then there was some videos of me in the live situation. So I mean, it was carefully done, and that was, I think, it was a really clever choice, and because it was a really difficult time for everybody, and I think it was really well managed, and also it was really helpful for me also to be welcomed from everybody. Everybody was really happy for me, and so that was really helpful.
Yeah, I get the impression from a distance of the band being a collection of actually rather gentle souls. And it seems that there's a great deal of emotional intelligence, as they would like to say these days. And I guess how they approach that and gradually introducing you to an audience that you weren't sure how they were going to react.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is, and I remember, I remember that, really, really hit me when I was singing a couple of songs, and actually there were people crying in the audience.
Wow.
that it's hard for a singer seeing this, or for a musician. I mean, seeing, like, watching this, it's really difficult to not not doing it. You're like not doing it. So I mean, it was really emotional. It still is really emotional, because on the last tour that we did in August and September, that was like a proper tour, like with all over Europe and UK, and where I was a little bit better known from the audience, because they knew me from like a little bit of videos and one new song and stuff, and so I was a little bit more relaxed, and everybody was more relaxed, and we really enjoyed the shows, and it's still, the emotion is still there, and it's still there. I think it will always be there. So and that's our job, to keep it there and see emotion through the audience, and there is this exchange of emotions. So this is really nice.
Yeah, it's an amazing kind of experience when you can elicit that from your audience. Yeah. But right, I can imagine it's hard not to get caught up in that yourself if you're not careful.
Yeah, it is.
So as you integrated into the band, I'm curious what the transition was like as you went from working with PFM to working with Big Big Train. Like, what kind of adaptations did you have to make in, compositional and performative approaches?
Well, with PFM was more of like a hired gun situation. I was more involved in the playing, not reading the writing, and I was more asked to sing maybe all the old tunes that was really high or difficult or something like that. And Franz, that is the leader of the band, and he was singing all the old time classics. So the one that, of course, people want to listen to, and I was a little bit of in the middle of I was playing keyboard, a little bit keyboards, a little bit guitar, and I was singing the stuff and doing backing vocals and helping with everything. So that was my role. And in the recording situation, it was the same. I was there, ready to do whatever the band needed, and if they need help for one thing or the other, I was there doing a little bit of everything. Actually, with the training, absolutely, and that actually was my life role. I mean, I'm lucky to be able to play a little bit of everything and singing and doing a lot of stuff. So in every situation that I was there. I was the guy the multi-instrumentalist guy that do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes save the day. And but here with the Big Train was really a different role. And actually at the beginning, they wanted just a singer. They wanted just the singer, just a lead singer for the band. That's it. There was no other expectations or requests. it was just a singer. So and I was pretty okay with that. I mean, well, first time in my life that I'm just singing. I can focus on the singing, and that's great. Of course, you like after 1 week was can you play the keyboard? Yeah. Can you play a little bit of guitar? Yes, of course I can do it. And so, but actually, I really enjoyed doing it. So I try, and also this was one of the I think clever moves that to really make it different. Like also visually, it was different from David. David was a singer, and he was singing. He was in the recording studio. He was playing everything, and he was an incredible player. He played guitar, and piano, and weird instruments and stuff, and the flute. I'm not playing the flute. That I asked the first time. I said, Greg, I'm sorry, but I can't play the flute. And, don't worry, we don't want the flute here. Okay, cool. And so, but like to make a different, to create a different situation. The thing that I can lie in a live situation, I can play a little bit of keyboard, a little bit of guitar, and singing, doing a little bit of everything. That I wanted to do it, and we chose to do this. So also visually it was a different thing. We are different personality, the human being, and Italian. The age is different, so we're pretty different people. But I mean that was, I think, a clever idea to don't make a copy of a treasure. Yeah, I mean, you cannot if you put a guy that trying to copy David, it would sound like a cover band. Yeah. Like it would be weird. And so I think that was a really clever move. So and I'm trying to keep doing this. So
it seems they've taken a lot of wise steps throughout the course of this, and kind of helping you be part of it there, which is nice. It's
absolutely.
I imagine a difficult situation for them because this is happening because they lost their friend, and at the same time it's difficult for you to come into that situation again, almost under any circumstance, but it adds a little layer of complexity when you're replacing someone who has unfortunately passed away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Looking at the album, in the process of recording it, sounds like you really had a good time, and it sounds like it was really enjoyable. So again, they did a great job with this. Any particular highlights when you come out of this, when you look back? Are there particular songs that you really enjoy and feel confident with, or perhaps were challenging, or even both?
Well, I think the overall experience was great because we recorded it in a old-fashioned way or the right way, like playing the album. So we were like together in a room and we played the songs, and we had the demos of the songs, but we actually played them live in a room in a recording studio, and that was amazing because that really elevated the character of the songs and of all the album actually, and it was really, really easy to change stuff, and that was incredible because if you want, can we do it slower? We just play slower, so that's immediate, and immediately we can do it. Or can you play the major chord or a minor chord? I mean, and it's just done.
Right.
If not, we had to send an email to somebody, and he had to reply to the. I mean, it takes a week to change a chord.
Yeah, nicely retro.
Yeah. So Absolutely. So it was really really fun, and actually how the songs really uh they that they were coming alive, like really alive. Because in the demo, of course, it's a little bit more of a putting everything together, and okay, this is the demo. All right, okay, it sounds okay. Let's work it out. And but in the live situation, in the recording, it was just the dynamics and just the ideas, and everybody was throwing ideas to each other, and that was amazing, really amazing experience, and it really created like a, a, bonds between us, personal situations, and musical, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was singing the album was again really emotional, because it's a really personal album. It's really a little bit different from the past Big Train albums that were a little bit more like about history, or about stories about people, like historical figures, or this kind of stuff. This is really personal. It's talking about the personal experience that we had. So there was a couple of moments in the studio while we were recording the vocals that was a couple of tears coming. So between me and Greg and the studio guy, it was really emotional, and actually we left. I think we left the emotion into the album. We didn't tweak a lot. We just, all right. This is good. That was the moment. So just keep it. And I hope it will people can relate to that. Yeah,
I would say from reading through the lyrics myself, it's definitely processing themes of loss, themes of taking advantage of the moment and living life while you can. I mean, so which seems natural given the circumstances, given the first album since David's passing. I would expect that kind of thing. And I think that probably does bring an added layer of emotion to everything. And the album in and of itself, to me, does seem to have a little extra punch to it, in a very good way. And, clearly the degree to which they succeeded in a lot of that is shown in the reactions you guys had in the studio that really were hitting the right emotional beats for things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like another thing, also singing and recording a couple of my songs, that was a dream come true, and it was incredible because, I mean, I'm the new guy, and as I said, they didn't expect to have a writer in the band. They just wanted a singer. And but from the beginning, it was me and Greg. Just he asked me, do you write something? Do you have material to listen to? And I'll be really honest with you if there is something that is good or not. I think I have some stuff. I'm writing stuff, and so we were sharing a couple of ideas, and actually it was like the song called "Love Is the Light." That it's one song, and Miramar. There is the single that just came out, and I'm really proud, and I'm really happy that everybody was really into the songs, and we have fun to do it. So yeah.
Thank you for confirming. I had a guess that Miramar was yours, considering
Yeah.
the landmark from your hometown. So I
Yeah,
thought there
exactly.
had to be a huge coincidence if that was not written by you. And
Well,
and isn't it typical of a prog band? What other kind of band or other genre in the world is for their first single going to release a song that's 10 minutes long? They
well,
know their audience.
yeah, and
Wait,
it's a single edit.
minute. It's only 9 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's almost
Of course.
in of itself funny.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah.
But it's nice of them too, I guess. Maybe that's part of the plan too, to sort of again introduce you to the audience by featuring one of your songs as a lead-off song.
Well, I think it was not was not planned actually.
No.
It was just when the album was finished,
Yeah.
and we just had to choose the singles. We went straight to the first one was Oblivion, that it was the first single because it was like the more was the more rocky straightforward song, immediately punchy and rock. And so I said, everybody was saying like, I think this is the first single. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But then we said, maybe we can put something more prog and more long and something a little bit more, because of course sometimes you put the rock single, like the more easy, let's call it easy listening song, and it's a 7/8. So I mean, but I mean the more straightforward single, and people now they are doing hard rock, and there's no prog. Wait a minute, no. We have the single. It's a 9-minute song, prog epic. So that it's that one. So I mean, it was then it was really natural to choose that. I mean, and we cut it a little bit. Oh, yeah.
I always think that's funny. I imagine that's oftentimes the that feeling, that impending feeling that prog bands have. Oh God, if we're going to release the first song and it's only 5 minutes long and it's a little more straight ahead, everybody's going to go, oh God, they've sold out.
It is actually it is, but I mean the Oblivion was a no-brainer first because it was a great song, and actually we played it also live in the last tour, and it really worked well. So I mean, it was no-brainer to say, all right, this is the first single. I mean, it was easy, but then yeah, maybe a little bit there is. In the album, it's a prog album. I mean, it is, and it's an emotional prog album, a personal prog album. Yeah,
that's perfect. You know, there's nothing ever wrong with that, because we could use a few more of those. They usually, prog noggins are so intellectualized and in our heads that it's good to get the emotion out from time to time and really.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So you guys have some U.S. tour dates coming up.
Yeah,
very soon here. Tell me about that. How are you feeling? I don't know. You have toured in the U.S. before, if I'm not mistaken. With PFM. Yes.
Yeah. Well, with PFM, we tour like everywhere.
Yeah,
it was a really nice gig. But for Big Train, it's the first time, because they had actually a tour planned, I think in 2021, 20, I can't remember. But it was canceled before because of the COVID thing. So and it was pretty nice. I was thought that that was a pretty nice tour. But this is the first time, and I'm really happy. I mean, and we played the Cruise to the Edge. That I was there with PFM twice, and it's an amazing, and it's really an amazing experience. So you are there with with people, and you are there with your heroes. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's amazing, and you are in the same boat, and that it's really cool to see the gigs and meet people, make some connections maybe, and it is a really really nice situation. But yeah, the big train doesn't have actual experience in the US, so we don't know how the audience will react and how the gigs will be, and we really look forward to play there, and yeah, it will be an amazing situation.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, but for timing, I probably would have made an effort to get up top of the state to see that show too.
Oh,
New
right.
Jersey, yeah.
Where are you based?
Southern Jersey, actually.
Oh, all right, okay.
Far away and not far away.
Yeah, well, yeah, your distances are huge.
And it's a shame too. If I'd taken better notice, my girlfriend and I were in Glasgow when you guys played there back in September, and didn't pick up on the fact until too late to make the plans change. So,
all right,
timing is everything, as they say.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed too. There seems to be I guess, a mystery musician who's going to be joining you for some of these shows or all of these shows in the U.S. Somebody that I think David Foster stepped aside to, I guess, allow you to bring somebody else in. But I see the website hasn't announced who it is yet. Is it still a mystery?
Yeah, it's still a mystery. It's a top secret information. Now, we will have a multi-instrumentalist that will join us, and because of course unfortunately we cannot tour with the brass band for all the gigs.
Yeah,
because I know that it's a disappointment for some people. It's a disappointment for us because we really like to play with the brass, and a lot of songs that has the brass arrangements that are incredible and beautiful, and but touring these days it's really hard. Economically, it is really difficult to tour, and for European and UK based musicians to go to the US with the visas and stuff, is a lot of money there. Everybody know that there is a lot of money involved to do this. So one way to make it happen was not having the full brass band for the mainland gigs. But then I think, if I'm not wrong, I think we will play in Buffalo with the brass band, and in the cruise we will have the brass band.
Nice.
So we arranged this thing to have at least on the cruise and on a gig before the brass band. So we will have a guy that will help us with the brass situation, and will help us with also other stuff. So it will be I mean it will be different, of course. Also, Dave Foster is not with us, and so we will have like just one guitar player.
Yeah.
But the guitar player is Rikard Weblum, so no problems with that. I mean, he will do everything. And I mean, we are really lucky to be like everybody. It's a little multi-instrumentalist, so we can cover all the parts and everything by ourselves, rearranging a little bit the songs and stuff. I mean, and it's fun because you change a little bit the songs and you do a little bit of movements here and there, and also you make it unique. So I mean, I sometimes you go to see. I mean, this is a subjective. It's completely personal opinion, but I mean, sometimes you go to see, I don't know, Coldplay or whatever big act, and you go to the gig, and it's like the album, and it's complete. It's exactly like the album, and I said I could have stayed home and listen to the album. I mean, I can sit or watch a Blu-ray. I mean, it's the same. But if I go to gig and I see, wow, they did a different version of a song, or stripped down, I don't know. I had in mind Queen. That, I mean, they had like, I mean, one of my favorite gigs is Wembley, Queen '86. That gig. I mean, they toured A Kind of Magic, and A Kind of Magic was like an album with like keyboards and a lot of vocals and stuff and arrangements, and they did it like the four of them, like a rock band. I mean, they just changed the arrangement, and it's a different situation, and it's magic. So
yeah,
that it's also a thing that we wanted to do, just to well, we will not completely change the songs.
Right.
But I mean, the extra, a little bit extra thing, a little bit of salt and pepper on the live show.
A few surprises for the fans, few things.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And hey, I can only imagine for the band, when you are on an extended tour and you're playing these songs, and they're probably the same or at least similar set list every night, changing things up, it gets be a nice, refreshing thing to do.
We actually we tried always to change the set list on every gig.
Nice.
Every gig, it's a little bit. Also, this thing. Then of course you're not playing, I don't know, that song for a gig, and everybody. Oh, no, why you didn't? And we play that song on the next one. So of course there would be disappointments and people happy and not happy. I mean, but it's to give a unique experience to the audience. That it's the goal. I think it's and if you want to listen to other songs, you can come to more shows.
There you go. Excellent selling technique.
Yeah.
Well, Alberto, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I really appreciate your time, and again, got to listen to the album in advance, and it's sounding very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are,
thanks, sir.
You're big train, but a little different, and in a good way. And I think the transition is working very well at this point. So, welcome to the band.
Thank you.
And I hope the album turns out to be a big success for you guys. I got a hunch it's going to be. I like to think I've got an ear for when things are going to work out well. I've made some few predictions that have been accurate here and there,
cool.
And a bunch that weren't. But
well,
I'm usually pretty good with this, I think. But yeah, it sounds great, and I wish you the best with the tour, the rest of it. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you guys, but I will make that point.
All right. Okay.
All right, sir. Take care. Best wishes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Honestly, God, I can't say this enough. I love talking with musicians. So many great people that I have had the privilege to talk to, and Alberto is another in a long line of thoughtful, engaging, and amiable souls that it just makes it such a pleasure. I just enjoyed it. I could do it all day long. Right now, it's clear to me that Big Train have found an excellent addition to their lineup. So I want to say a big thank you to Alberto for chatting with me. I wish you, Alberto, and Big Train best wishes with the new album, with the upcoming U.S. tour and Cruise to the Edge. The new album, for those of you out there that want to purchase it, The Likes of Us, is available for pre-order now and will be out March 1st. If you're lucky, you'll get to catch some of their shows in the U.S., which sound like they are going to be wonderful. If you're really, really lucky, you're part of the sold-out Cruise to the Edge. I am not that lucky. Therefore, I am jealous of all of you. Meanwhile, the usual stuff. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, I would truly appreciate a like and a subscription if you could. That would be wonderful. If you want to follow along, social media links are in the description below, and you can check that out, follow along for news and channel updates and such. My interviews are available in both video and audio formats, so you have options on how you want to listen or view them. And finally, if you want to fill your day with prog rock and metal, just head to The Expanse, my Live 365 channel. And on Sundays, all 60s and 70s prog rock, the Brain Salad Sundays is what we call it. Now, remember, never fear to deviate from the norm. Always keep it proggy. And this is Supa Dave, signing off.